Dave Jones here again. We're going to look at a little lesson today on strumming in 3/4 time. Now, 3/4 time means 3 beats in a bar. It's a lot less common, particularly if you like sort of rock, pop, blues. It's a lot less common than 4/4, but still useful to be able to strum in various time signatures. And I'll do a few more lessons on different time signatures in the near future. But strumming in 3/4, there are some songs that spring to mind in 3/4. McIntyre, Paul McCartney, Peter Starsted, Where Do You Go To My Lovely, perhaps a little bit folky, but even if you like kind of Nirvana and stuff like that, Nirvana done a cover on their acoustic album of a Lead Belly song called, I think, Where Did You Sleep Last Night? That's in 3/4 as well. So it is a useful strumming technique to have. So as usual, there's a PDF up on this on the website. This is sort of basic 3/4. I'll put a more advanced one up soon. And what you need to do to get to grips with it is work through. I've put several little patterns on the website, starting very, very easy and then gradually getting more difficult. So there's 4 patterns up in the PDF, and then there's sort of a mix of them because it's kind of nice to be able to mix the patterns towards the end. So what I'll do is I'll take you through them one at a time. Okay, so the first pattern, when you're counting in 3/4, you're counting 3 beats in a bar. If you're tapping your foot, you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when you're learning a new strumming pattern or a new strumming technique, obviously because if you're watching this lesson, you're probably a relative beginner. 3/4 actually, whilst I mention it, it comes in at grade 2 in the RGT electric guitar exam syllabus. So if you're doing that, this would be a good video for you to watch. So the first pattern is literally 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you make the first beat slightly heavier. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And as always, I've got some other lessons up on strumming. I always advise you mute the guitar, just touch the strings. Don't worry about 2 hands at once if you're learning a new strumming pattern. Get this hand, your strumming hand, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, until you feel totally comfortable with it. Then put some chords with it. Any chord you know, it doesn't really matter what chords they are. To practice changing, so C to A minor, nice easy change, 1 finger move in there, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, etc. The next pattern, because just like in 4/4, you've got 1, 2, 3. You can subdivide that with an and beat, 1 and 2 and 3. So the next pattern I've got is just giving 1 upstroke in there. It goes 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. A little bit more interesting, a bit more movement with the upstroke in there. So again, practice your pattern. It goes down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Until you've got it, then apply it to some chords. Etc. And then pattern 3 that I've got there is a bit more of an and beat there. It goes 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So get your pattern down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Then apply your chords. And hopefully you should be getting the idea now. Pattern 4 is 1, 2 and 3 and. Slightly more difficult if you're changing chords there because you've got an upstroke on the half beat before the new bar starts, so it gives you slightly less time to change chords. If you're new to the pattern, don't do an upstroke on the beat after 3, because that way you get a whole beat to change chords. So that pattern is 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. And again, apply the chords. And play, whatever chords you want. I'm just using these chords as an example. And the last thing that I've done on there is, because sometimes once you've mastered these patterns, I'm going through this quickly. You need to, if you're a beginner, you need to master each one before moving on to the next. But the last pattern I've got on there is a mixture of all the patterns that you would have learnt if you're following the PDF, which has got 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3 and. So it's the idea of mixing up all the patterns you've learned so it becomes a bit of a natural thing for you to strum in 3/4. And once you've got that, you can apply it to the chords. Obviously, you can make up your own patterns. You can put and beats in different places. I wouldn't put any off beats in until you've mastered these patterns, and I'll do a 3/4 on off beats as well, because it can be quite interesting. If you want to sort of start on off beats, that's a useful place to start. Will be I've got a PDF up and a video up on Golden Brown, which is it's not always in 3/4, so it's not for the novice, but it changes to 4/4 in places. But I hope you found that useful. It's very useful to be able to strum in different time signatures. Like I say, there's not as many songs in 3/4, but it's a good idea for you to be able to strum in it. And there's a lot of country songs in 3/4 actually. If you're into country ballads, there's quite a few of those in 3/4. And if you're doing, like I say, if you're doing an RGT exam, especially grade 2, the patterns that have here will get you through in your 3/4 if you get a 3/4 section for your rhythm playing. So I hope you found that useful, and I'll see you again sometime.